Very good evening to you with Sports Night. I'm Damien Best. We start with this one. Barbados squandered plenty scoring opportunities in their international friendly against Belize at the Wilde AstroTurf last night as both teams failed to score. Playing against their English-speaking Central American opponents for the first time at the venue, the Rashad Jules-led team kept the packed house on its toes during this exciting but fruitless encounter, as Sean Green reports.
Barbados taking on Belize in this international friendly. Skipper Jules with a free kick just outside the 18-yard box. It's a curler, but it's just over the crossbar. Belize now with an early chance, but no one at home on this cross. A sweet ball through by Belize. Straight past 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders. Primus the keeper all alone with some work to do, and he does well to keep Belize away. Here's a daring 40-yard pass into the field, finding Sargent on the right flank. Pulls the trigger and finds the safe hands of the keeper. Armando Sugar Lashley with possession. Fires from range, the shot just over the crossbar as it ended 0-0 in the first half. The Bajans attacking once more from the right. Another chance, but too much testosterone on that shot. In fact, Barbados had plenty of opportunities to score. Here is another one from the boothouse skipper, Jules, but it's not to be. Another bite at the cherry coming here with Barbados running the ball all the way inside the 18-yard box to find their skipper, Jules. The shot is taken off the keeper's legs. Good save to leave the game locked at 0-0. Sean Green, CBC Sports.
Thanks, Sean. Well, yesterday's final day of action in the Sol Rally Barbados 2018 went to the east of the island when the dust has settled. It was a Jamaican pair of Jeffrey Panton and Michael Fennell Jr. who drove away with a 4th consecutive title, taken in yesterday's final day. CBC's Anne-Marie Burke.
One of the vantage points for Sunday's action was the Cliff Plantation in St. John, and with many spectators in a poised position to take in the action, Ren Ryan Wood blazed through the stage with the Zero branded pace car. What was coming next was pure action. And you could hear the engine roll. The man who came into the final day, the one to beat, was still full throttle. Jeffrey Panton with Mike Fennell by his side, they were gunning. Right behind them, the Welsh pair of Rob Swan and Darren Garrett keeping up their campaign for a podium finish. And here in full flight, the man who's no stranger to Rally Barbados victory, Paul Bird, in hot pursuit of Panton and Swan. Nice lines through the stage. Keeping up pace in their Ford Fiesta were Kevin Proctor and Andrew Roged, another of those foreign teams that are now seasoned campaigners in Sol Rally Barbados. Looking at some local campaigners, Barry Mears really has spectators riled up as he passed through Cliff in the very recognizable Ford Fiesta. This, however, will be the last time you'll see his brother Roger, who with co-driver Graham Gittins crashed out of the rally at the end of this stage. Good news though, both men were unhurt. And with the senior Roger Skeet crashing out yesterday, son Dane Skeet carried on the mantle. He's battling the Mears brothers in Super Modified too. And I must make mention of Martin Stockdale, who's been a starter for over a decade. He's the overseas competitor who has made the most Rally Barbados appearances. But it was time to change gears as I headed to just outside Bushy Park. This was the final road stage. I'll tell you, the action was here, from the spin-outs to the near miss of accidents, to Greg Cozier putting down a donut show for the hundreds of spectators. It was at this point that the drivers laid it all on the line. Some class winners included the Welshman Tom Preston and Carl Williamson, tops of Group A and within the top 10. Rhett Watson, who drove like a boss all rally, took the Super Modified 3 class, calling the pace notes was Bradley Weeks. And the battle for Super Modified 2 supremacy was won in the Mears cap, as Barry took it along with 5th overall. In 4th overall, Kevin Proctor and Andrew Roged, a little trouble here, but rallying out to finish just off the podium. The red Ford Focus of Paul Bird completed the 2-day event in a time of 1 hour, 39 minutes, 38.29 seconds. That's good for 3rd. Sandwiched between the fours was the Subaru Impreza of Rob Swan, who really kept pace for a commendable 2nd place. His overall time, 1 hour, 39 minutes, 02.08 seconds. And for a 4th year, The Sol Rally Barbados champions are Jeff Panton and Mike Fennell jammed down in the house. Their winning time 1 hour 38 minutes 13.22 seconds. And here's to my MVP of action, Eric Allenby. He gave the crowd quite a show all rally. The engines can now turn off. Sol Rally Barbados 2018 is a wrap. Anne-Marie Burke, CBC Sports.
Well, the Usain Bolt complex was the venue for the 246 track invitational over the weekend. The meet had some of the most prominent junior athletes in the island, and one thing they did not lack was speed. CBC's Akeem Klinkett reports.
Girls Open 400-meter dash, out the blocks, drive phase, the fundamentals, go out hard in the first 100 and cruise on the backstretch. But Rhea Hoyt of SMS Cruising Speed was ahead of the pack. The main focus going into the bend and around it. As they headed for the finish line, Hoyt still leading, but getting some pressure from her teammate Asia Foster and Springer's Deandra Foster. Not a bother for Hoyt though, she still has something in the tank to tap into, winning the event in 58.35 seconds. Asia Foster was second in 58.76, followed by Deandra Foster in 59.25. We move on to the boys, and they followed suit. Drive phase complete and making all the early running. Jamal Burke in lane 5, down the backstretch in a hurry, but as they approach the 200-meter mark, Carl Gale came with a challenge. Around the bend, Gale marked Burke closely, and coming home he punched 5th gear and hit the NOS button, and it was night-night nerves for the rest of the field. 48.62 his time. Burke followed in 49.27, while Miguel Nicholas of Ellerslie was third in 49.71. On to the 100-meter dash, girls first, and in the middle of the track in all red, Shamaya Odein stated her claim, typing the memorandum and allowing the field to know she's in charge, winning in 12.08 seconds. Anna Connell of Christchurch Foundation was second in 12.18, while Zara Brown of BVI was third in 12.36. On to the boys open, and it was stiff competition for who would stand on top of the podium. But Karan Griffith of UE Blackbirds raised his hand with glee, coming home in 10.71, ahead of Josiah Atkins of Foundation in 10.80 and Jael Kroll of BVI in 11.09. And of course, the men's 100-meter dash invitational open. This one for all the goodies in the bag. Lanes 4, 5, and 6 all in with a chance, but lane 5 will be the stronger on the night. Fallon Ford of UE Blackbirds the victor in 11.96. Antonio Weeks of Rising Star followed in 10.99, while Gerard Murray collected bronze in 11.01. Akeem Klinkett, CBC Sport.
There's no doubt that 2018 has started on the right path for top Barbadian surfer Chelsea Tuak. She's ranked #1 on the WSL North American rankings and 15th in the world. But there's no place like home, and she's been taking in the local waves ahead of next week's start of the summer circuit. So when I paid Chelsea a visit at her Flagstaff residence, she agreed that she's in a good place.
Everything's just fallen in place and working really well with me this year, so feeling good. 2018 going into the Olympics qualification in the next 2 years, so just trying to have a steady rhythm and a good rhythm and keep the confidence up.
Like any top athlete, Chelsea has taken her surfing to the next level. She's now riding the waves aboard the Australian surfboard designer Jason Stevenson's creations. She's also enlisted a mental coach and a new international surf coach.
After a while, I felt like I was in a good rhythm, but I still needed something extra and wanted to see my surfing through someone else's perspective and see if I could, if that would help me a bit more. And his name is Adam Robinson, and he's out of Bells Beach, Australia, which is south of Australia, and he's very successful as a surfer and also as a coach. He has a lot of top athletes right now that he's coaching, and he likes to simplify everything. And when I talk to him, he's like, all right, my mentality is I'm going to make you a better surfer, and then the results will come.
Added to maintaining her current top rank in the North American circuit and looking to move up in the international rankings, there's also the push for a place at the Tokyo Olympics in 2020. With 3 avenues for qualification, Chelsea is leaving nothing to chance.
I'm trying all 3 routes, not putting all my eggs in one basket, trying as much as I can to qualify, because it's quite tough. It's only 20 women and 20 men that qualify for the Olympics. And we have got so much depth in surfing and so many talented athletes. So I know it's a tough feat, but I feel like I've got a good chance. So I'm hoping that with this ranking, this contest in Martinique and Barbados, in Mexico, if I get my ranking up enough, say in the top 10 or even get up to the championship tour by, I think it would be 2019 or 2020, then I'll get a spot for sure. 3 routes, working pretty hard, covering all my bases and doing as well as I can in the competitions, and hopefully, definitely my main goal for 2020 to see myself flying that flag in Tokyo.
Chelsea gets her summer going next week in Mexico, and she's fully ready for the task ahead.
And after Mexico, I've got 2 events in South Africa and then 1 in Oceanside, so I'm hoping that those 4 events go good for me. And I'm sitting well when I go into August. I've got some new boards coming, and I've just been able to train on my home ground, surfing Soup Bowl and Brandon's as well in Drill Hall, and just doing some time in the gym as well, some surf time, and working with my mental coach as well, just to get my mindset going, keep positive, keep visualizing that win, and hoping to. I've got a good team. My mom's coming with me over to Mexico as well, so I've got a good team around me, and I'm just looking forward to it, doing well and performing on the new boards.
Here's to Chelsea riding the waves to success as she continues to make her mark on international surfing and to fly the Barbados flag high. Anne-Marie Burke, CBC Sports.
Indeed, we wish her all the very best. Time to tell you what's happening tomorrow. We can tell you that primary schools netball and football continues with the girls at the Boys and Girls Police Club and the boys football matches at various venues across the island. The Corporators Under 16 basketball tournament continues as well at various schools around the island, while the St. James Road Tennis Tournament moves into the quarter-final stage for the men and the round of 8 for the ladies, with all the action at Haynesville from 7 p.m. Well, that's it for the Monday edition of Sports Night. I'm Damien Best. Good night.